Sandy, you talked to us a few hours ago about Natasha trying to get a workout before the game to figure out where she stood. So I don't know if she's worked out yet or if you've talked to her, but where do we stand on her?
Yeah, no, I've just got here. The swelling hasn't gone down, so she's going to be ruled out tonight. So just another wrench in the woodwork, so they say.
Right.
You want to start?
I don't know if I followed you good.
Kidding.
Sandy, two things. How much more scoring do you need out of Phoebus at this point? And also, how is JJ progressing?
Yeah, JJ is progressing well. So that's encouraging. I'm not sure what that means right now, but she's working hard and she's building up. So hopefully, I don't know, post All-Star, hopefully, sooner than later would be great for us. In terms of Leo, yes, but she just needs to go out there and play a game and take the shots that are open, and, we'll try and put her in a little bit more action where we can, and then her just staying aggressive. We know she's capable of it, and it's not just Leo trying to score more. I think everyone has to do a little bit more. We're down, a few players that can score and play defence, so we've got to do it by committee.
And Harrison's status going forward?
Who's that?
Izzy Harrison?
Yeah, look, she escaped major injury, so that's obviously promising with her history. But it's a day-to-day, so we're just going to have to see how she responds to treatment. And we've got a few days off after this game. I don't know if that's possible. I haven't really spoken to the doctors in terms of what that looks like, but like I said, it's a good news in terms of obviously big picture with her knees.
You, Jack?
Obviously, with Tosh out this evening, I guess how much of an opportunity does that open things up for Marine? And do you imagine her starting tonight?
Yeah, undecided yet on how I'm going to go there. Everyone's going to get to play, so you just got to come out and be aggressive. So by committee.
And you talked about how everyone needs to give a little bit more. I guess what does that look and sound like to you?
Yeah, look, where can you compete a little bit harder in certain spaces? Where can I blow up an action here and there? Where can I sprint the lanes a little bit harder? That's what I mean by a little bit more. Pushing yourself when fatigue sets in to go push a little extra minute more. To making sure we're blocking out or running, getting a rebound, just all those things. When we're obviously without Tash and Izzy's been doing well for us, and obviously we know how JJ's missed.
So in what ways do you feel like Las Vegas is different from game one of this season to now?
Well, but they've had more time, with Jewel in the lineup, so trying to work that out, I suppose. There's still a lot of similarities, going through some growing pains like we all do, and they're trying to find what works best for them. It's, what's different is now they play more of a post-rotation. Obviously, Smith started in that last game, and they rotated Smith, Wilson and Stokes. So Gray was going to the fore in previous games. So whether they go to that, we don't really know because we only got really 1.5 games to go off.
Sandy, so is Doug going to start or TBD?
Doug could start, but I don't think he's good enough. But
Dang, catching straight. No, I wanted to ask you because obviously you mentioned the last game switching was frustrating this team, and especially in the second half. And it seems like ever since JJ's gone down, that's kind of been an area where maybe other teams are kind of figuring you guys out a little bit, that the switching frustrates you. What is kind of the key to, I know this sounds silly, but not let it get to you or find ways to be able to attack? Do you need to do more short roll? What do you got to do?
Look, teams have switched us last year too. And we can't make it a big deal of it. We've just got to keep moving the ball. I think sometimes we look for the switch and we get stagnant looking for a short roll, whereas I think if we can just deep roll out of it, you create flow, you get second and third side, they'll make a mistake out of that because now there's going to be mismatches all over the court, won't they, unless they're obviously 3 players switching out, which some teams do, some teams don't. We still need a presence, but we just need some gravitational pull. If we're not rolling hard, we're not pulling other defenders in. So it's just getting back to the basics. They know that. Now it's just doing it more consistently over a game.
Hi, Coach. Thank you for taking the time. Your players have frequently stated that there's, quote, no panic, or in Tasha's words, no effing panic, over what's over what's transpired over the past few weeks, and that's obviously the right attitude to have. But having said that, would you like to see, for lack of a better term, a sense of healthy panic to overcome the fact that Jonquel's return won't be an instant fix?
Yeah, no, definitely. Look, I think sometimes, regardless of who's playing or not, at times I've questioned some of our effort, in our energy and pursuit and our urgency, and that should happen every single game, regardless of who's playing. This league is too good not to come in, and we're hunted. Regardless of who's in and who's out, everyone's coming for us. I don't care if we've got people out. There's time to get down and, really put the nail in the coffin, basically. And we're sometimes not resistant enough. And that's probably where it's been most disappointing. Yes, we're down some really key players. We're built around our starting five. But we've got to have a little bit more toughness where we can. I think that's the most disappointing thing. There is no panic. We're only, We're 12-6 at this stage. There's a long way to go. There's a lot of games to be played. We just got to get healthy and then continue to build the chemistry with our full group. Thanks.
With Izzy being out, do your plans for the front court rotation change, or since the Aces' only true center is Stokes, does it really not affect you much?
Yeah, they still have someone called Asia Wilson, so we have to try and find ways to slow her down a little bit. But that's, if you saw Indiana too, Asia scored 50 and they didn't score much. Maybe that's a good strategy. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Look, I think we've got enough bigs. Niara's, we're slowly building her back up again after a few days out. And building her confidence up. And we need it. These are good opportunities. Niara's very rarely guarded Wilson, and I'm sure she's going to get some opportunities tonight because we're going to need some big bodies in there. Obviously we have Stewie, and Leo's still tall, so we may have to work something out. The hardest part for me at the moment, it's with your team always changing, the rotations have to change, and you don't know what it looks like until you're in the game, what works and what doesn't work. So we'll work it out on the fly.
Hey, Coach, you always kind of preach this don't get too high, don't get too low kind of mentality, and obviously with not panicking at this point. But what are some of the things that you preach or try to do yourself just to not getting too low during times like this? Yeah, look,
big picture. You're doing, be solution-based. Don't be, learn from your mistakes. Hold people accountable where we can, but still, video doesn't lie, and they kind of know. So it's more just staying in the moment. Don't look too far ahead. Don't look too far back here, but making sure that we continue to grow and learn. That's a part of the game, isn't it? And it's hard at the times, but for me, I'm like, okay, well, I've got to keep them up. They're down on themselves, so I've got to keep them more positive and engaged. But when to push them and when not to push them. But you have one day. I always say you have the night to spew it a little bit, and the next day you have to come in and we're focused on what we need to do. And we can't be too negative because that's not going to help anyone.
Hey, Sandy. To follow up on M's question, just about how you guys have been utilizing Brianna Stewart. You've, for the last couple of years, had the luxury to use her off the ball somewhat as a roamer, and now she's been your primary five in some of these games. Is there an idea by getting Niara potentially back into the starting lineup that you can have her kind of against some of these guards in space?
Yeah, it's a great point, Miles. You're a smart little reporter. That's nice. I'm saying that's nice. That's it. Yeah, true, because Stewie's not a five. She probably struggles mostly against the really big post players. She's good when she's roaming or, being that help side, not the one trying to stop the one on the ball. So, yeah, I think there's opportunities for Niara, definitely, and just building Niara's confidence. I think, she's getting back to herself, but we're still just getting her back into some rhythm. But, we believe in Niara, and she's just got to stay confident in what she does bring to us, and not just be on being good or bad. It's about how to be impactful in the little things. So I do think Stewie's had to carry a big load with JJ out. It's because Sabrina was injured too, and that was a struggle for us as well with her neck injury. But Stewie, I know she wasn't happy with the way she played last game, and I'm like, even the best in the world have bad days, but she's good at responding. So if we can put Niara in her, I think that we can alleviate some of the pressure of having to guard everybody at times. But she's working her butt off. That's all you can ask for her. But her versatility is great for us. So there's times she's going to be on it, but she knows Asia really well.
Sandy, just given some of the front court hits you guys have taken depth-wise, how there is a marquee front court free agent out there.
Who's that?
I think her name's like Emma. But
I actually coached her, by the way, Russia.
oh, in UMMC?
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Ogemka. I coached in Russia.
Okay, yeah. But I mean,
She was a baby then.
yeah. Well, I guess, have you reached out to her, or what? How do you think a player like that, at the time how unique I guess is the situation that there is a free agent of her caliber available?
Look, I mean, I haven't spoken to Emma. I think everyone would love Emma. I think Emma's just taken some time to rest after Eurobasket and work out what she wants to do, and we would love to have her if that's something she's interested in. I think that would certainly help us, an experienced post player, because we have versatility with Stewie. But like at the moment, we're unsure. I haven't spoken to her. I'd love to, but I haven't.
Thanks, Sandy.
Thank you.